So today we will be solving the questions based on the stack. So for this I will be using the Geeks for Geeks for the questions. So we will be solving two questions. So one of them is the parenthesis checker. So in this question we have received a string of brackets. So we need to return whether the given string is a valid string for the brackets or not. So the first thing came in our mind why we need to use the stack here. Suppose we just came this question in our interview and we just received something like this. So our first intention will be just to use a simple loop and the frequency array. Suppose we just count the occurrence of all the opening brackets. Suppose this curly bracket has a frequency 1 of opening. So we will just check, okay, so whether it is also closing, so we will just match the frequency. But here is a catch. Suppose if this is the condition, if the given string is like this, so here also the frequency is okay, like the one opening has a one closing and the curly one also one opening and one closing, but they are not in the right positions. So whenever you need to basically compare some elements on based of their positions, there is a highly chance that the stack will be used here, because stack, so what's the benefit of a stack is it preserves the occurrences in its calls. Okay, so there's a highly probability chance that stack will be used here. Okay, so that's the one case. So let's see how the stack will be used here. So for that I will just write a stack for a characters, because if I take one part of a string it is a character, like this, and then we will loop over our string like simply this. Now in the first part our stack will be empty, so we will just write this: if stack is empty, then we need to just simply push our character into it. So this will be done like this. Now the condition came when our stack is not empty, then there will be two cases. If the top of the element of the stack is the opening bracket of the closing of the string. Suppose we have string like this, so, and we have pushed our element till now. So what will be the case? So when we came to this element, our stack has a opening of the curve bracket. So we need to basically pop it out. So we just write the condition for all the three types of bracket. It will be like if stack dot top is equals to opening and our x of I, the element in which I am currently, if is this condition, or I will just simply write the condition for all the three type of brackets. So here it will come like curly one and then curly close and then or and then the close one. So if this is the case, then we can simply pop our top element, right? And if this is not the condition, then we will just push our element, right? And in the end, if our stack is empty, it means every bracket which we insert in the stack is pop it out, so the given string is like valid, otherwise it will be not valid, right? So let's check our code. If I compile and run, so it compile good. Now let's check on the all the test cases. Yep, it runs on all the test case. So yeah, it is working fine. So now let's move to the next question. For this question I already write the code, so I will just explain the question first. So here we will be receiving n will be the size of the array, and then a array. Suppose we receive 1 2 3, okay, and then we need to basically return a vector in which every element represents the greater element after that element. Suppose if we talk about the 1, then the next greater element of the 1 will be 3, and if I talk about the 3, the next greater element will be the 4, and for 2 also it's 4, and every time the last element has the minus 1, because the array is finished and there is nothing after. And also like this, so the 6 greater element will be the 8, and then the 8 is the minus 1 because 8 is the highest one, and then 0 it will be the 1 because 0 is greater than this, and then like this. So here also the last element is always be 1 minus 1 because the last element is always the greater to its right. So for this also we will be using the stack. So what we will do, we will basically start from the end of our array. So suppose I am starting from the 4, and then I will see is my stack is empty. Is the stack is empty, then I just in my result array I just push minus 1, and then push the 4 in the stack, and then I will check the 2. So is 2 is basically greater than 4, or the top of the stack is not. So we will simply push the top of the stack in the result, and then push the 2 on top of the stack. And if the top of the stack, now if I come to the 3, the top of the stack is 2, so it is basically the less. So we will just pop that out from the stack, and then in the last there is a condition came whether our stack is empty or not, and if its stack is empty, then we will just push the minus 1 because that element will be the highest one, or we will push the top of the stack. So that's how it will be done. So the code is here. What I recommend is first to try this question on your own, and if it's not you are not able to solve, then only look at the code, and I will attach all the codes of these two questions in the description box so that you can anytime refer to it. I just write the code in the first time because I don't want this video to be very big. So yeah, let me just compile and run. So yeah, it will be working fine. Yeah, it is giving the expected output only, and then if I submit, it will be, hopefully it will work fine. Yep. So yeah, it is working fine. Okay, then see you in the next class. Bye.